Hello everybody, welcome to Art Therapy. Woohoo! It's time for your therapy. It's time for our therapy. We're gonna make some cool stuff in Superimpose. Impose. But first I'm going to feed the muse. Here she is, the pie. This is the pie. She's my muse. I'm gonna quickly say hi to my peeps in the front row. I've got Clayton Von Kluge, my good buddy, who has a new song out, by the way, really awesome jam. Matez Perkowski, one of my lovely patrons. And then I see several more of you out there in the lurking lounge, and I know that people do watch on the replay. Hey, KVK Coils is back as the other KVK. And Heathen Granny, hi, hi, hi. Remember, it's the pie. Hi, 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 it's the pie. Woohoo! She is a happy girl. All right, I have so many fun things. Last night, I spent about half an hour watching some Superimpose X videos, and then I played around with it for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and I made the coolest thing. So let me get my iPad in here and we can... Now, you know better than that, heathen. You little heathen, you. I should send you a copy of what I said to somebody who is not my friend, who says stuff like that. Because somebody left a comment that said, you're kind of getting up there to be singing on YouTube or whatever. And so before I deleted them from my channel, I responded by saying, well, you're a little stupid and ugly to be on YouTube. And that's why I don't give a flying fuck what you think. So there's that. Anyway, and then I deleted them. Boom. But I say, let's bring in the display of my iPad, and we're going to do some work here. Hey, Hugh Caldwell, what's up? No, you know what's so fun is yesterday I was on the Community Pulse, Frank Terzo's show, and I figure that getting a little bit of hate just means more people are watching. Sometimes I'm actually kind of sad that I never get any hate. I know who Poppy is. It's Katie's cat. I'm not Katie, and this isn't Poppy. All right, let's get in here to... Boom. Woohoo! I'm here. In the corner. Me and Pi are in the corner. She's shaking me down for treats. Anyway, I want to show you some things. So let's start in photos, and I will show you some of the stuff that I've made this week. So here's one. This is actually something that I had exactly. Instead of just hating me like quietly, they came in and they felt like it was important to say something. No, so anyway, this is my like art is life thing, and this is actually something that I used from, this is something I have on paper in my living room, and then I started adding layers. So that's pretty cool. And then this is the one in the background this is for next week's, or, you know, this is just a future art therapy thing. This is what you see right here. All right, so this is what the one that I just showed you now looked like before. Welcome, Doug Kidda. So the haters gonna hate. No, I did not listen to that yet, Heathen Granny. This is the middle of my work week, so I'm soups busy. It's too late to learn songs this week because the thing is tomorrow. Anyway, so you can see you can see her hair is like weird looking and she doesn't have a face and everything just kind of looks, but this is how that goes anyway. This is that background here. Oh, and I threw it into, so this is AI right here, that the video, but I already have the credits for it, and I just figured I'll use up my credits making my own compositions and doing that thing. Are they people too? I know. Hey, this is the picture that's behind me when I'm in full screen right now. Let's see. Here's another one I made right here. It looks like a wall, like a graffiti wall next to the ocean that people are standing and dancing on. And let's see, let's keep going. This is like what AI did to my surfing one. I just threw it in there. And this is all, these other ones are the ones that, this is what it did to it. This is what it did to my other picture, which I actually made this tree picture by taking a whole bunch of pictures of the same area. So this is the actual one, and see how there's this man in the background and all the stuff in my face. It is not too late for me to learn how to sing in Spanish. Are you ready to get deleted? I'm working on a video for Hold On Tight because I lost the video. So here's me and Statistic in our Hold On Tight. Hey, look, see? My Duolingo Spanish score is 15 and and I'm already almost at 16. So, Cierra la boca. Hey, it's the real Justine Kasprick. Hey, the Platehead is sending me like dirty pics. Look at this. Dirty Platehead. Let's see if I can find anything else. I think we should get to work. Yeah, this is last week's stuff, so all artistically cultured. Yes, you canta. All right, let's open up Superimpose X, which is, there's two superimposes, Superimpose X and Superimpose V. Superimpose V is a free video editor, and Superimpose X it's basically a very inexpensive Adobe Photoshop or something, you know. There does some freaking amazing things. It's just coolest. Why go on to live chat instead of top chat, KVK. All right, let me show you something. This is so cool. So see this cool background right here? The swirls and all the nuttiness. This was actually made with, this is nothing but the background. When you choose a background to start with, it gives you the opportunity to choose a background that is a gradient. So this gradient, I used a gradient, and then I used all the different tricks just to make it like this. So we're going to start over again with a new gradient. Oh, kitty, you don't get to have treats all the time, sweetie. So here we go, pattern, right? Now, let's just choose a pattern. We're going to go 16 by 9 because mostly everything I do. Do you want to go away, or do you? She's like, but treats, but treats, but treats, but treats. All, yes, all messages. There we go. Anyway, so the first thing you can check in here is that there's all these different ways to, there's this one color background. Now there's a gradient background, and you can see right down here, and I covered this last week. Yeah, but you don't give your cats nothing but treats, right? So that their livers and their kidneys and their everything gives out when they're young, I suppose. Because giving someone everything they want is not always the best thing to do. Anyway, end of my lecture, right? So I've got this kind of medium gradient, and I like the circle one kind of works for me. So I think let's do it. We're going to use the exact same, right? Yes, I was giving her. Yeah, if they eat nothing but treats, it's going to make them very unhealthy. Denise Lance, hello. Yes. Also, if they eat too much people food. Do I worry about your generation? I don't know. Do I fear your generation? A lot of you are straight up idiots. But then again, a lot of us are straight up idiots too. We have an idiot. We definitely have an idiot problem. All right, let's accept this. Now, see, did you see how beautiful and purple that other one was? How can we make this beautiful and purple? Well, and this thing is, you can actually. Yes, exactly what Justine said. All right, you'll come back. But she'll come back. Sorry, I just banished the pie, Gary. I didn't really banish her. I'm technically right on the line between Boomer and X. All right, so the thing we're going crazy on today is this editor pane. It's right here on the bottom right. So there's adjust. Now this adjust is fun, and you'll be like, here's range. Now this one, it's not going to be obvious because you won't have a, there isn't really any colors in here because this is all grayscale. I could have picked a color though. So if you can see that how I'm narrowing the range of a color. So you can take this one color and you can desaturate it or all the way saturate it. You can turn the hue all the way up and all the way down. Or you could turn the level all the way up and all the way down. Or the lightness maybe, I don't know what it is. And then you can invert things. You can mess around, right, so that it takes every other color. You can do that, but we'll show that when we're in something that has that kind of thing. It's just that it's there first. So then there's clarity, and clarity, you know, see how if I turn up the clarity, all the pixels that are blended start being more obvious, and then you can see that it's actually kind of more of a bullseye than it is an actual. Look at that. Yeah, I'm Generation Jones. I like Generation Jones. I'm a Generation Jones, baby. So that's the amount. Here's our radius. Let's mess with that. See? Now, I'm already subtly changing this. Let's take the vibrance up, down. That doesn't seem to make any difference in this one. So you can see right here in the right hand corner, click compare, and that's what it used to look like. So it's got a bullseye look now. What? I've just put down a gradient, and now look at it. It's looking weird. Gary Hubs, did I say hi to you? I can't remember. All right, target. So you take your target. Now watch this. This is nuts. So I'm using my fingers to smallen my target. Now watch. See? I turn it way up. I turn the brightness way up and way down just in this section. So there's that bright. Then now take this contrast. Turn the contrast way up or way down. We'll turn that contrast kind of up. We'll take the exposure. Watch now. But instead of going to this spot, I'm going to move this somewhere else. Let's move it to another little corner, and let's change our exposure there. Whoa, look at that. Right there. Now we'll take this in the center, and we'll like desaturate the center, resaturate. Now it doesn't work when works better right here at a junction. So let's go to this junction. Now desaturate, resaturate. There we go. It helps when you're in something that has actual. So saturate, desaturate. Hue, mess with that. Doesn't really change. It's not changing a whole bunch, but changing the brightness changes a lot. See, there we go. We turn that brightness all the way down. Woo. We take this exposure. Isn't that fun? Now look, see? Now we have a bunch of little weird little blobs in here, right? So then we take mixer. Now that you can start doing crazy stuff if you're in, you can't do much when you're in grayscale here. But you can turn things grayscale with this bottom bit. But you can take, see? If you turn the blue way up. So we're in red. So we turned the blue up in the red. Now we turned the green up in the red. And now we'll turn the red down in the red. Okay, now we're taking green. We're adding a little red to it. Making a little more green. Taking out a little blue. All right, now we've got the blue. We'll take down some of the blue. We'll add a little green into it. We'll add a little red into it. Oh my gosh, now look what we've got. Doot, 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 doot. All right, that's cool. Now look at the comparison again. Oh my gosh. We changed a lot that time. Now let's go into the histogram. What? Now you can change the amount of light. Oh, we want it to be really light. And you can change the amount of middle ground here. Ooh, that's kind of nice. And then you can make less and more dark. I like it right about there. And then you can actually do the same thing for the red, green, and blue. But I'm not touching that just yet. Easy herbs. Waha. Now see, this looks like creepy eyeballs. Now how much farther can we go? Recover. I'm not sure what recover does. Oh, recover fixes your shadows and highlights. So here, let's take out all of our shadows. That makes it look creepy. I kind of like that. Let's take our highlights and mess with them. Ooh, yes, if we take out a bunch of highlights by pulling that forward. And then I turned the detail grain up because it makes the whole circle look grainier. Now, once again, let's compare. Nice. Click. Balance. See, now our red-green balance, we can actually just start messing with it here. Our shadows, now these are our shadows. Our shadows now colored. Now let's change our midtones. Take the red out, add the red in. Take the green out, put the green in. I like to take a bit of it out. Take the blue out, put the blue in. Nice. Now our highlights. Take the red out, put the red in. Take the green out. Put it back in. I like it down. Yes. See that? So you're only moving the stuff. You're only changing the color of the highlight. How freaking awesome is this? Now look. Look how much we changed it. And just imagine doing this. Imagine doing this on your on your real stuff, right? Put your left red in, take your right teal out. But we're still not even close to the place where, so we've got temperature. So obviously you can just take the temperature out, take the temperature up. I like a little extra temperature. You can take temperature and now your tint. So there's your tint. Ooh, like that. Just chalk, chalk, chalk. Honestly, I was doing IRL art and not doing music until I got an iPad in 2020, and it really started in like November 2021 when I got connected to the all right, so that's everything on this. That's everything in the adjust section: range, clarity, target, mixer, histogram, recover, balance, temperature. All right, so now our next set is tools. So our tools includes text. So let's throw some text in there. Hey, Jim Shannon, what's up? Let's add some funky text. Let's write peace. There we go. Peace. Peace. Right now in here. This is your writing. Now, when you click this section, you get a system fonts. We'll scroll through these, and you know I showed you a couple weeks ago how I set my fonts and added new fonts. Trying to find a font that looks nice here. I've got a lot of new fonts and extra fonts in here. Ooh, just go down. There's Helveticas and Hooflers. Hot Metal. So this Hot Metal Normal, this is the one of the ones I added myself. There's a marker felt somewhere in here. Oh, Matamasi I thought I added, but I don't see Matamasi. How odd. Maybe I added it somewhere else. I want to find kind of a, here we go. Peace, there we go. Now see, you can choose your font color. Let's take something that, oh, there we go, this little teal. Now we're done. So now we've got this. Let's add it right over here to the side. Now, what is this plus button? This, the magnet probably sends it, like if you put it somewhere, it holds it there. Anyway. Party let plain. Okay, so now you've got text, color, spacing. Here's your spacing. Then I pull it closer, further. That's kind of nice. And then shadow. Let's add some shadow. Oops. Eep. Look at this. The thing is in the way. Let's see. There we go. It's still in the way. You can't change your shadow opacity with the word sitting on top. That's kind of a bug. Let's take the curve. Nope, now we're curving it. I don't mind that kind of curve right there. Outline. How about a little outline? There we go. Oi, Jade Star, what's up? And of course, now that you've got the text in there, you can do crazy stuff to it. So next we'll move over to erase. Now see what I did? This is how I did this thing, right? Yes, it is Super X. So here's your remove. Here's your plus minus. So you're masking. Let's mask out piece. Oh, now it erased it actually. So let's undo that. So it's plus erase, minus erase. What if I do that? Ooh. You can mask out stuff you can do a mask anywhere. Let's mask. Whoop. Minus mask, plus mask. All right, I'm going to instead now, so we're going to go this plus mask. And so what I did was I started making little, see? I'm drawing in weird lines with my eraser. And then we hit the erase button. And see how it's all weirdly, see, it's erased. Now I'm going to move the brush size down. And then I'm going to like do little crisscrosses across this, like I'm sewing up a wound or something. Yeah, this looks really cool. See? So how different does this look from our original? Looks very different. So we got the erasing. You can just literally erase just about anything in there. Vignette. So vignette is not something we would normally like use here, but what happened to my, there it is. So here you go. See, this is brighten and darken. So see how your vignette gets darker around the edges. So the vignette darkens the edges. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Clayton. Sorry. And Dell, hello, and Zach, hi. So when you do this, it actually makes these little things we did look different. Now fade, see? So fading it down makes it brighter on the inside, but it leaves it dark on the outside. There we go. Let's do that. Now blur, and this sort of blurs out the part that isn't, the part that's outside the circle, the part that's in the vignette. Now we'll just give it a compare. Yeah, I don't think that's bad, because I can always mess with it later. Ooh. Back to the editor. So we're past vignette. Now we're next to frame. I probably don't want a frame, but I just thought I'd show you that. So here's your inner frame, goes down and up. So this is very highly adjustable. Your outer frame, now it's closer to the edge. See how you can get a nice corner there? Whoa.
Frame lets you add a frame to the photo. You can add both an inner and outer frame if you want, or make it a single frame by turning one of them down to 0. Use the slider to...
I didn't mean to do that. That's funny. View blended image. View current layer. Nice. Inner, outer. And if you turn either one of them to 0, then it'll only move that. I don't know. Let's find a color, maybe. It says there's a way to change the color. And see? Now look at that. If I mask, it masks out part of the frame. Ooh. Now it sort of looks like something you found. You can also invert it. So now we've got this part of a frame. Yes, the piece stitches internal wounds. Very cool. All right, see, now we've got this partial frame. There's camera fill, and I don't have my camera's pointed at the back of my stand, so that's not going to be very interesting. You can gradient out all of these. Let's find a gradient left. Whoa, look at that. It literally just changes your stuff. And then you can take your line, see? You can change any of these colors, like change this color. Aha. There's black. Or you could just like gray. And then you could take this one and make it red. And then take this one all the way to the right. And we'll make that one yellow. And now we have this whole like fire sort of look, right? And you can move these around. Oh, you tap to add more control points. There we go. Now we've got a whole different one. Let's throw white in there. See? Now you've got all these little lines. Let's take it so that piece is highlighted. There we go. This looks so cool. Hey, Pete Johns, what's up? Yeah, it looks kind of hellish. And then that's just colors, right? So then there's opacity. So you can actually take this whole thing that you just did and pull it way down so that it's opaque. This is awesome for doing. Hey, Jim Shannon on Sounds, thank you so much for your super kind, super chat. I'm feeling very super about this. Challenging the fellow chatters here to match or exceed. Very sweet, very sweet. Loving it. All right. And then, of course, one more blend. So this is like, you can actually use a blending layer on this. Here's normal. There's multiply, screen, overlay. One of these days I'm going to show you what all the blending modes actually mean. But that's not today. Darken, lighten, color dodge, color burn, soft light, hard light, difference. Ooh, that's nice. I'm probably going to keep that. Exclusion, although that looks cool too. The hue, the saturation, so that picks it based on saturation, based on color, based on luminosity. Plus darker, plus lighter. I think that difference looked the coolest. So let's go take our, let's take our opacity down just a little bit more. There we go. Hey, the real Justine Kasprick. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Me appreciate this. Yo appreciato. Sue super chat. I know, Sue super chat. Sue super chat. So you guys, this is like, we're just literally just touching upon things. Then there's color fill. Watch this. Color fill. Wow, that just gives you any color. Let's take this little, let's take a really, really dark color. Let's just go black. Now see that how opaque? That's how opaque. You can just opaque it all the way. Or just part way. Or take your mask and mask out piece here. So there you go. Like, so you could actually kind of reverse draw in here. So I'm putting in this color, and then I'm kind of scribbling in. There we go. Aha! Isn't that just wicked? You guys, it's so wicked. Color maps. Color maps will do the same thing. It just puts, it does the same thing as a whatchamacallit. Color map. You can put different colors, different control points. You can make that slimmer. It's very amazing. So then resize, you can actually change the size of your whole thing. And mask, outline. I don't know, I'm not going to go over any of that. Let's go to we're back to our plain editor menu. So we've gone through adjust and tools. Next, we're going to distort. Distort is wicked. Transform, like, changes things so that they change their perspective, and we can't really do that because it's too big, right? But we can warp the crap out of it. Look at that. Warp. I'm going to warp these words. And then see, and you can see that actually, that if you warp it, you can see the little right up here how there's the little checkerboard pattern that is transparency in these things. And I'm going to warp it so that, like that, watch, I'm warping the crap out of it, and I'm going to leave a bunch of edges. And then I'm going to show you with a different tool how to cover those edges back up. Right on. So let's go like that. So now look. So now if we added something underneath, let's just add a photo underneath for fun. Let's just add this. And then we'll transform, fit to canvas. And then we're going to drag it underneath. Oops, I'm going to do that with my finger. That's a little easier. Now look, you can see the other picture behind there. Pretty darn cool. And then watch this. I am going to do this now because you'll be able to see. So I'm going to tap this layer and I'm going to say merge down, and now these two layers are something together, right? And then we go back to our editor and we're off of warp because it's a whole different menu, right? Now here's planet. Look at that. Planet turns it into a, oh my gosh, look how cool that looks. I would be using this if I didn't have this piece text. See, it basically turns it into a, ooh, that looks so cool. Honestly, I could screen record myself doing this, and I could make a movie. You just cut out the part where I'm doing the adjustments later. So that's zoom. Here's your gravity. Gravity, like, sinks it in. Look at that. That looks wicked. Your size. See, way too large. Very small with everything in the inside. You're rotating it like this. Ah. Now it doesn't say peace anymore, but it's in there. It's a kaleidoscope, yes. MJ Cabernis, hello. Now fade. See how it fade kind of makes it so that there's an opening in the spin, or as tight of a spin. Now the twist comes. Look at that, twisty twist. Honestly, I love this. So screw that writing. We're just going to keep this. Now how different does this look from a simple gradient? Do you realize, remember, if you were here at the beginning, we started with a simple grayscale gradient, right? All right, next move, ripple. That gives you basically that look. that's in a whole bunch of different things where it looks like you're looking into a pond. But see how you can take your frequency? So now there's a whole bunch of ripples, all the way, tons of ripples, all the way to like almost no ripples. And I kind of like how it looks with just a few ripples in it. So let's take our amplitude. Now our amplitude makes the waves higher, lower, higher. Let's keep them higher. And now the aspect changes it to a kind of flat or to a very round. And see? And it's in the center. It's very round. I know it does look like a vinyl record. It looks so cool. Anyway, let's leave it right there. Now compare that. That looks wicked. Let's keep that. Now, glass. Now here I'm going to mask out parts that I don't want to be glassed. Let's just take, let's mask that. Now watch. See, as I spin it around, it's taking away the glass effect. And watch that. Wee, brush size, smoothness. Right? Totally wild and psychedelic. Then you can invert it. Whoa, the mask is inverted and now all the stuff is on the inside. Oops, now it's back on the outside. Let's keep that. So we got this glass. So right here, let's actually change our glass. So our glass has density. That's a very dense glass. That's a very undense glass. I like it undense. Let's take the thickness. And see, take the thickness down, take the thickness up. Ooh, that's nice. Up, I like up. No, Jim, and I shouldn't I? So here's our glass type. There's type 1, here's type 2, and here's type 3. Oh, this has those little circles. This is like having that ripple effect everywhere. I'm not sure if I like that though. Let's see. I think type 1 is what I was looking for. Now compare this. Yes! We've done some really cool stuff. We have the coolest background. All right, now swirl. Now, this one's fun because, again, you can take, let's swirl this little corner right here. Now, if you go to the right, it swirls to the left. If you go to the left, it swirls to the right. Let's take that. And now you can just move it anywhere. You can make the swirls larger, smaller, larger. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, let's do something that takes away some of our background. There you go. Look at that. Let's leave that. See, so now we've got a whole, now I've taken my old thing and it's mushed up. Well, now we've got swirl, we've got bump. Let's bump this part out and see if we can get some of our stuff back. Oh yeah, look. We're bumping it. It gives us something back. Let's try bumping. Then pinch. Let's see what happens if I pinch right here. It draws everything towards itself. Yee! Now that's freaking cool, right? Okay, that's everything on that line. So we're back. Now we've got brush. Your brush gives you paint. So paint literally you can do almost anything. Like there's presets, settings. Take your settings and here's your brush. Now you go in here to this menu on the left and you can have a custom brush tip. This is where you can add things like paint, or you could actually add I can add a bunch of stars. So if we take the spacing out so we can see some stars and put some pressure on, scatter the stars about a little bit, have a little size jitter, Now, watch. Just stars everywhere. Stars, stars. I'm painting with stars. But now, I've already painted, right? Let's go back into our settings, and let's change our brush tip again. Let's change to one of these weird, funky ones, like this is my favorite one right here. And we'll bring the spacing back in tight so it looks a little more, it's a little less scattered. See, now it's starting to come closer to making an actual line. So let's just go, see? So we can cover up those empty spots like that. Or I'm just gonna go along here, and of course you can change the color. Here's where you change the color. You can use your let's do that again. When you grab this, you have to kind of grab it and keep it. So I got this red here. Here we've got our red. Now watch, when I paint over, I can paint with red. Now I'm just gonna leave that, right? Let's just leave that, because you can see what brush does. So next is effect. Effect will give you several of these things. Like this. See, it's adding a whole bunch of little things. Now let's go into our settings and find out what we're doing. So, see, look at this. There's 4 different things in there. See how there's 4 things set? Now, this one will give me a star and a smudge. So you can smudge 5 brushes. So let's get rid of all the other 4. See? Now there's just these little ones in here. So you could actually, this is what makes it look like like we're in a... Let's do the spacing out. Let's scatter them. Let's size jitter, so there's different sizes. Let's change this color so we get a better color. Let's find right here. Let's get a pale color, kind of. There we go. Now, watch. Whee! See, now you've got little pieces of little like card things. You can just fly all over the place. I'm just flying. So then there's shapes. Look at that. This is just a line. Shape 4, circle. There we go. Now move along the shapes and you start getting some really crazy stuff. There's a sun, clouds, speech bubbles, GIFs. Don't worry, lightning bolts. Let's move our lightning bolt over here. And you know, you can do these things. Width, color, opacity, shadow, all the things. Next is smudge, and smudge is how we're going to fix all this now. Smudge. Let's get a real big brush size and let's start smudging the crap out of stuff. We're going to go in right here. There we go. We're going to smudge it so that there's some cover. What? This is just wild. How did I do this? That's smudgy, and look, look how transparent it is. You can kind of see behind it. So this is going to be fun, because now we can go in, let's go into stock and use something like psychedelic. Right? We'll add some psychedelic crap right behind our thing. Ooh, let's use this. So the way you drop something in is, let's boot 16 by 9. I'm going to put it so that the little circle's on the top. And you just click plus. And now transform, fit to canvas. But now put it behind. And now you can see it's peeking out from behind. There's our little design peeking out. Wow. Okay, back to our editor. Now we're going to clone. So you put the thing where you want it to clone. I want it to clone something over here in this big spot. Let's take our brush size, make that real large. So wherever clone is, now watch. When I go like this, I'm going to clone things. I should be cloning things over it. I don't know. It worked before. Whee! Clone, clone. My clone sleeps alone. And you can flip it horizontal and vertical to make it totally different. You can add your custom brush tips here too. Now you've got a, let's open. That should be, it should be, oh, there it is. See, you can, it's very subtle. Just moving the effect around. That's what it looks like. And now we have more of that. We'll compare. Yeah, see, it's very different. That's kind of nuts, huh? Next, retouch. Retouch is going to be one of the coolest you've ever seen. All right, retouch is my favorite. We're going to quickly get through this because it's going to be Jade coming up after this. And holy crap, I haven't set a dump. In fact, I think I'm going to do that real quick. Weep. Let's find out what Miss Jade is doing. Content. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but content live, and I'm going into the show that's live right now. And I'm picking customization. Damn it, I had that leaderboard in here. I'm sorry, you guys. So I'm searching videos from Jade. Wee. Is it Mela or is it Superimpose X Pro? It's Superimpose X Pro. Woohoo! Now you'll see even more specially bone your clone, right? Tools. All right, so you can desaturate something. Take all the color out. Paint plus, paint minus, paint plus. Saturate. Make it very, very dark. Darken. Oh, it doesn't seem to work. Whoa. You can lighten stuff. See, there it's lightening. You can soften. You can blur. Boo-boo. Effects. Mask contour, inner glow, electric spark. Anyway, this is how it looks. This is a very cool background now, all right? We can just take this. Oh, you can see, here, let's remove the top layer and you can see what I've been doing to the bottom layer. That's why I can't see it. Hide layer. See, look what I've done to this. I've cloned it. I've made it look like there's a person sitting in the corner. That's really cool. All right, you guys, I'm going to wind this up because Jade's going to show you a whole bunch more. I was just showing you the editor, deep dive into the editor menu. That's me, kids. A lot of people's moms' phone numbers. Ha. Show layer. So I'm going to go in here now and I'm going to take my blended image and I'm going to add it to my photos. And we are ready. We're out. And I'm going to bring back my face so I can say goodbye to y'all with my face. Here we go. We're back. All right. Let's all head on over to Jade's house. She's going to do more Superimpose X. This is going to be fun. And she's going to be she'll fill in all the details that you wished that I'd showed you how to do. It would have been better if they were the other way around, but whatever, right? Okay, my friends, big love and all the peace that you can carry. Hold on to your hats and we're heading on over to Jade's.